Welcome to Recently Logged, where we're doing another low-effort episode that requires no thought.
Hi.
I had just said
How's it going?
before we started.
Some relaxing music.
That I thought every episode we did was low effort. But that was by design. So. But anyway, hello.
Hi.
I'm Robbie.
And I'm Micah.
And
we're Monsters Incorporated.
And we're Recently Logged, a film podcast. Not that we're like a podcast that is filmed. We're a podcast that discusses film.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this week we're doing a specialty episode. We've done several of these in the past.
Several.
We do these whenever we don't want to put in the effort to like make original art or like choose a movie.
Yeah, we hadn't decided. It was yesterday, and it was past noon. And usually if it's past noon, that's like
and
the
I was
point
at home.
Yeah, that's like the point of no return. Like, we don't have anything by then.
This is the point of no return.
If we don't have anything by then, we're just going to do a What We Watched episode.
Yeah. And granted, we did watch quite a few new movies.
We did.
So basically, how this goes is kind of the end section of our normal episode stretched out for an entire episode where we talk about everything that we've logged on the movie review social media platform Letterboxd within the past week since our last episode.
Yes, indeed.
So we'll just go over each thing. Because we're doing it as the whole episode, we'll give a little bit more of an in-depth discussion, but not a fully in-depth discussion on each thing. And hopefully we'll have fun with it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll have fun with it.
What? Crazy.
So, let's scooch into it.
Scooch into
Scooch into it. Yeah.
What?
I remember.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You did that.
I did
by
nothing.
the way.
I did nothing, Micah. Okay.
So we're going back. The last episode went live on the 13th.
It did indeed publish on the 13th.
It was on Malignant.
September 13th, 2021.
You can go check that out.
Malignant.
But I watched the next film that we had not talked about on the 13th.
What?
As I gave a good old-fashioned rewatch to Stanley Kubrick's movie 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I wouldn't call it an old-fashioned rewatch. You watched it on your phone, dude. That's not old-fashioned.
Well, anyway, I turned it up real loud. Had
As
both
you should.
The headphones.
That's the only way to watch it, man.
And I'd watched 2001: A Space Odyssey once before and was not a fan of it.
I've done it once before.
And this time around, I was also not a fan of it.
But Micah...
I just really don't like Stanley Kubrick.
Well, understandably. He's kind of a terrible person, but...
B, this movie just doesn't click with me. Like, it just doesn't. Like on paper, it's all like really well put together, and I gave it a 4.5 because on paper, it's visually it's great.
You
on
gave
paper,
it a 4.5?
It's well put together, and the score is phenomenal.
It is indeed phenomenal.
But it does nothing for me but give me a headache.
The sound editing in that movie is
literally the only point that I'm actually invested in what's happening is the Hal stuff.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
Dang.
And that ends so fast.
Ouch.
So, yeah, and it gave me a headache again. Literally both times I've watched the movie, it's given me a headache.
Micah, 2001 was one of the few movies where I literally just sat there for like 10 minutes after the movie ended. I was like, what did I just watch?
No, like, and I've never gotten that.
Gorgeous.
Not for lack of trying. This time, the reason I watched it by myself is like, I do not want to be encumbered by anybody. I want to just watch the movie. And I want to try to get something out of it. And I still didn't get anything out of it.
Well, fair. To each his own, I guess. Kubrick is a terrible person. But
yeah, like I said, I gave it a 4.5.
Made a darn good
it's
movie.
Really well made. It's just, it doesn't work for me. But then after that, we gave an old rewatch to George Miller's second masterpiece after Happy Feet.
Heck yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Guys, he steps on a two-headed lizard in the first, 30 seconds of the movie.
He wants to die historic on the Fury Road.
I want to die historic on the Fury Road. Exactly. We're definitely going to do an episode on this someday.
Someday?
Someday, yes.
Look, it's Immortal Joe.
Indeed.
Wait, he's in one of the old movies?
Apparently. I wonder if it's the same actor. No.
Okay. Plays somebody different. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, Mad Max Fury Road. Is very, very good. We talked about it in one of our... Was it last? Yeah, it was the last video.
Yeah, I was about to say, we've already spoken on it a little bit. But I mean, consider how the demographic this film appeals to. Yeah. And consider who we are. It makes sense that I kind of the
demographic for us, but it clicked a little bit more on a rewatch, I will say. There were parts in the beginning when I first watched it that just didn't really work. I was a little bored for some of it. And that didn't really happen this time around. I was fully pulled into all of the elements that I did not
Micah.
like as much the first time.
You must surrender to Mad Max Fury Road.
And I mean, the filmmaking is just, it's literally phenomenal.
Sensational, man.
And you don't even think about it because, like, everything is happening so fast. But even just the production design on, like, the world and everything, like everything is done really well and really in depth, and you don't even have time to think about it because it's just happening, and you immediately just accept this is how everything is. And there's some genuinely really cool like design work and prosthetic stuff and all sorts of stuff used throughout the movie that you hardly even have time to notice.
I know, right? And the way they frame up the entire story, without even having seen any of the other Mad Max movies, is still, like, really cool.
Yeah, exactly. It gets you fully into, like, Mr. Max.
Mr. Max Man.
Without having to have seen the other movies.
Yeah. That bulging eyeball shot while they're in the desert will haunt me forever.
But yeah, no. I think I posted on Twitter that we need more movies with just Tom Hardy standing in front of stuff, because we have Dunkirk, we have Mad Max. I think we even get a shot like it in Inception, but we need more.
We need more of it. It's Tom Hardy standing in front of something cinematic universe.
But yeah, I gave it 5 stars.
You know, I tweeted out that I was going to name my firstborn Furiosa, Micah.
I do know this.
I'll still stand by that Furiosa is a great name.
It's a neat name.
Yeah, exactly. After Fury Road, I watched after
he died historic on the Fury Road.
Yes, after I had already died historic on the Fury Road, I watched $1 Million Mermaid, which is a biopic that came out in the 50s about Annette Kellerman, which, if you don't know who she is, she's a movie star from way back in the day, like before the 50s, kind of back in the day. And it's a really scattered movie, like in terms of quality and like just plot. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird movie. One of the weirdest biopics I've ever seen. It's just kind of boring most of its runtime. The third act is amazing, though. I don't know if I'd recommend it by any means, but like if you just want to watch the third act, just go to it. You're not gonna miss much context. I gave it a 2.5. And then right after that, I watched the George Pal 1960 The Time Machine adaptation, H.G. Wells.
Did you do all of this while I was at one theater?
Yes, yes. Well, you got back to see the end of The Time Machine.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which I will comment on The Time Machine since I watched part of The Time Machine and I've actually read the book.
Yeah, I've never read the book.
I really hate what they did to the ending. They cut out the best part. They cut out my favorite part of the ending of The Time Machine. The kind of glue of the book. They cut it out.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a weird movie. It's all right though. Like, I don't know.
It's a weird book to adapt to a movie anyway.
Yeah, like I feel like a lot of these scenes, like as I was watching them, like I feel like the scene would work a lot better in a book, not in a movie. But that's like kind of a given. Supposedly, it's a very good book, so. I don't know.
It's a fine book.
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
You know what else is a really good book?
Speaking of really good books.
So we watched Greta Gerwig's Little Women for the first time.
Yes, indeed.
And I bought this when it came out.
Yeah.
Pretty darn fast after it
took us like 2 years
Blu-ray.
to watch this.
Because like I love the book. I'm a really big fan of the book, and I love the cast of this movie. And like I've been wanting to watch a Greta Gerwig movie for forever. It just was. I bought it, but for some reason, and I have no idea. I could not tell you why we didn't watch it for like 2 years, and then we finally watched it for the first time, and I loved it in every way.
Well, there you go. I mean, I was looking forward to it a lot too. Like I had heard nothing but great things about it, so. I've never read the book though, so I probably wasn't quite as excited.
I actually put this in my top 4 favorites. It could move. I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
But like every moment of this film was just like it was serotonin for me.
Florence Pugh was killing the game.
Florence Pugh is always killing the game. Always. I need her in like every movie. Saoirse Ronan and Florence Pugh to co-star every movie.
That is true. I'll sign that petition.
Make it happen.
Emma Watson's actually good in this one.
Right?
Crazy.
I don't even like Emma Watson.
Not to mention Laura Dern's here too.
Timothy Chalamet being a great cast for Laurie. What?
Timothy Chalamet. I didn't even know what his voice sounded like in reality until this movie.
I had never heard him.
Micah, I have never seen him in anything.
You've seen him in Interstellar.
Yeah, but like that doesn't count.
He sounds exactly the same.
I guess, but still.
But no, Florence Pugh is as much as I'm a big Saoirse Ronan fan, and she's great for Joe. Florence Pugh steals the show in every scene she's in. Like, just no offense, she kills the game as Amy. Why do you think she's taking up the majority of the poster?
I feel like I should read the book now because I absolutely adored this.
No, you should read the book. It's a great book.
It's a great book.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, on a filmmaking level, it's honestly kind of hard to talk about this movie for me. It's really, really smart. The way they go about reworking the book itself to fit film is like really well. Like, it was just a really good idea.
It really was.
If you just did the book, it would probably end up being kind of boring. And I mean, yeah, they had to cut out a good deal, but like what they kept it to was the emotional core of the book and all of the moments that matter to that. And it's just really, I don't know, it's really great.
Transcendent, Micah.
I loved it. I'm going to watch it again.
Micah, someone that I follow, I don't remember who, they said the bookbinding scene in this is the new cleaning of Woody in Toy Story 2.
Dude, the bookbinding scene was good. I want a binding of Little Women like that. Like, I have like a really weird, damaged old paperback copy of Little Women.
Yeah, I was about to say your copy of Little Women is kind of whack. Not gonna lie. But yeah, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was amazing.
I give it a 10 out of 10.
There was just the occasional plot beat that didn't hit. Like, I don't.
You're wrong.
A couple of it's like the way it juggles its narrative sometimes doesn't let the emotional moments hit as well as they possibly could.
I disagree.
But that's like the only problem I have with it. I think everything else is great. Not that it isn't emotional. I just think it could be more so.
I disagree.
Wow. You gave it a 10 out of 10, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said that, though.
Oh, well.
Next, we watched the 2021 film brought to you by the creators of Westworld. Reminiscence.
Like a memory spaghetti projector man say. The movie.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be good. I'll say that going into it. I watched the trailer and I was like, that doesn't look very good. But the poster looks cool.
The poster does look cool. It's a banger poster.
Jonathan Nolan's an executive producer. It's
straight up, although I will say this movie straight up just looks like it was made back in the 80s and it's just a crappy 80s movie.
But no, it's not good. It tries.
It
It's got a cool concept. I think I put that in my review. Like the concept is genuinely cool.
I
And
guess.
yet they did this with it.
Yeah, they just like the mystery is kind of bad anyway, like the mystery they present here, and their revelation is even worse.
Right.
Like, this is the most boring possible way you could ever reveal this information.
And this is the most boring possible way you could do a mystery all about looking through memories to figure stuff out. Like that's like that's the cool so the cool concept of this is like the world with the rising oceans. That's cool. And like people bent on nostalgia. That's cool. But yet it hardly even happens in the movie.
I know, right? I'm like, what? I thought we were gonna get more like reminiscent.
Instead we just get Hugh Jackman like sad because sexy girl left.
Sad because sexy lady left. That's the entire movie.
Sad because like I think I just don't get it. There's nothing to get attached to in this movie, and there's so many things that are supposed to be like super epic. Like I remember Cliff Curtis comes into this movie and he's like, yes, soon you will understand the truth and you will not be happy, my friend. And he's got all like these burn scars and he's living in the middle of like the rundown world, looking like a crime boss from GTA. And Hugh Jackman's like, I'll kill you.
Okay. Pretty good Hugh Jackman impression. Wow.
Like there's just nothing in this movie, and it's so boring.
It really is. It's painfully boring, guys. Please don't spare yourself from this movie. It's not worth your time.
Weirdly sexual. Nothing's going on.
Like I said, it's an 80s movie. It's weirdly sexual, and there's just nothing happening.
I gave it 2.5 because, like,
yeah, I was about to say the filmmaking itself is fine.
The actual film.
It's just its screenplay is a disaster.
Yeah, the screenplay is not good. I even like Hugh Jackman and Rebecca Ferguson.
I was about to say I like Rebecca
and
Ferguson.
Cliff Curtis.
But this ain't it, to say the least.
Then we watched the 2021 released on
Apple TV Plus.
Apple TV Plus.
Indeed.
September 11th.
Yeah.
Come From Away.
I was about
taping. I couldn't speak. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, the Come From Away taping of the Broadway production, which I thought was going to be the complete original cast, but it's just the mostly original
Broadway cast.
There's like 2 guys who weren't here in the original Broadway cast.
Yeah, we watched it.
I mean, it's hard to talk about like a Broadway production.
Yeah, it's a Broadway production.
I mean, obviously it's not as good as seeing it live, but I'm genuinely a really big fan of Come From Away. I think the music is really great. I think the way the stage performance is actually done is really smart and really impressive.
It's ridiculously impressive.
It's done with what was it, 20 people in total?
Like the whole production?
Yeah, whole production.
Yeah, roughly. On stage, anyway.
No, that's everybody, like, besides, like, lighting.
I was about to say, what about, like, lighting, director, set dresser, like that?
Because like, music and actors is all 20 people, and they all, like, are on the stage at different points.
And there's a much bigger cast of characters than just 12 people, Mike.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. I mean, I knew they did that. Apparently my mom, who had listened to the soundtrack before, didn't know that it was the same people doing all of the characters, and I don't know how.
I mean, like, I honestly have no idea how you wouldn't pick up on that. Like,
it's the same voice. They do different accents.
Yeah, they change their accents, but they can't change how their voice sounds.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's good. It's not as emotional as I would like it to be, and like it's goofy, but yeah, it's a fun musical. I gave it 4 stars.
I was about to say,
stars.
It feels oddly like popcorny for a
No,
Like,
it is very popcorn
for like
some
a
reason.
musical about 9/11, like
Right.
what? But I don't know.
And I mean, I like the story that they were going about telling. Like they were trying to do something to capture a very unique feeling that only the people who actually experienced the events of the film and the way that these people did experienced. Like, it's a very unique experience where while they were like in Newfoundland, they actually like they preferred that. Like, it was such a different world because everything had just happened and changed, and they were with everybody, and the people were so kind that like that was their pleasant experience.
Yeah, I wish I still liked the music in this.
The music is amazing.
Like, yeah, the music is good. I'll give it that. But like, I just don't like it very much.
It just doesn't like good music.
I just don't.
But
like
I
good
gave
music.
it 4.5, which is a little generous.
I gave it a 4.
It probably is like a 4-star movie.
Yeah.
Then we watched The Night Books, or specifically.
I was about to say it's just called Night Books. I've never ever seen a "the" with it, Mike.
Which I'll start out by if witches have this good of fashion.
For real though, she looked like Lady Gaga 90%
We
of
need.
the time.
I'm not saying we need more witches, but
Wow.
we need more fashionable people.
More
Dude, her shoe game every time.
every time.
And she changes shoes like every scene. Her shoe game was phenomenal.
I swear, that's like the best part of this movie is just her wardrobe.
Her wardrobe
But
is
that's it.
amazing. I was sharing this with my girlfriend, who's particularly likes this kind, like certain elements of this kind of fashion, and I was like, "Yo, the shoes," and I was like, "Oh, these were the shoes she pulls out to torture children."
Got him.
But yeah, Night Books, directed by that one guy who directed Brightburn, that movie produced by James Gunn.
David Yarvosky.
And this is like a TV PG movie, and it's like a I wouldn't say a kids horror movie.
I would say a kids horror movie.
It's a kids horror movie, but it's weird. I don't know.
It is really weird. The production design and costuming was really good.
Yeah, no. Like,
Everything else was either mediocre or kind of awful.
yeah, like there are certain scenes like in certain rooms. Like I think the entrance to the library was like this thing where like these books were all like done around in like this thing to make an archway all the way through. Like the production design of this is actually genuinely really cool. Like the set design, the costuming, that stuff is all really cool. Even when they get into like the original witch stuff.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I will say, I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
Yeah, but exactly, the story isn't exactly doing a whole lot.
It's like doing next to nothing.
To make anything like, oh yeah, allow me to rewatch, because like things are just happening. There's no real narrative tension in the entire movie.
Glad to see that my boy, I don't even remember his name, but the hairless cat is killing the game.
It started with an L.
I don't remember. But he has joined the Netflix cat canons now. So we're good to go. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's that person. See, I told you I recognized her.
Who, Kristen Ritter?
From the movie. Yeah, she was in the movie.
Oh my gosh, she's the witch.
Yeah, she was in the movie that our mom was watching last night, and I was like,
That's
dude,
funny.
I totally recognize her.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, you don't recognize her. No, she was the witch.
Whack. Yeah, I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Well, why not just make it out of 10?
Because 5 sounds better.
Okay.
I gave it a 3 out of 5. He gave it a 2.5 out of 5.
Indeed, I did.
Sam Raimi was the producer.
That, it's good on him, I guess.
Then we watched Coda. I think this is an Apple TV Plus original.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it might be.
We watched it on Apple TV Plus, so it's probably an original.
And I missed like the first 15 minutes.
Roughly, yeah.
But I don't know. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, 2021 films coming in clutch once again.
It was really sincere. The filmmaking wasn't doing too much, and like the plot was pretty like base. Like the writing and filmmaking were not revolutionary. But it was really like it was a cute movie.
Solid cast.
It was sincere. The cast was good. It was emotional.
Yeah,
It was fun.
it was fun.
It did a pretty cool time showing something like the coda child of deaf adults.
Yes.
I think it was a really cool use of like that kind of a family in storytelling.
Micah, one of the reviews I read for this said surrender to the cheese for Coda. And I'm like, yes. Because it really is kind of a cheesy movie.
No, it
in
is
a lot of ways, but like in a good way. This is the good one.
It's goofy. I wouldn't even say cheesy. It's goofy, but like a good goofy.
Yeah, I was about to say it's good stuff. I would recommend Coda.
I give it 4 stars. Again, probably.
I gave it a 3.5.
It's like a 3.5, 4 movie. I particularly enjoyed it and didn't have any major problems with it, so I gave it 4.
Yeah, a lot of its problems come from its narrative tension throughout. Like a lot of the through line for the plot, especially in the first and second act, just don't really like mesh very well.
Yeah. I mean, there's hardly a whole lot of like cohesive drama going throughout.
Yeah,
anyway.
I was about to say it's an odd movie, but it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Then we watched Gore Verbinski's
You had
The
me at
Bling
Gore
Ring.
Verbinski.
The Bling Ring.
The Bling Ring. He did. What if Gore Verbinski directed Bling Ring? That would be funny. Okay.
Gore, the Ring, remake of Japanese horror movie from the 90s.
Yes. Also called The Ring.
Mr. Verbinski, I have a love-hate relationship with Mr. Verbinski.
Why a love-hate relationship,
Being about
Micah?
the fact that I love his top 4 most popular movies and hate The Lone Ranger.
You actively
I
hate it?
actively hate The Lone Ranger.
Dang. I still want to see it though. It looks like fun.
But it's not.
But it's Gore Verbinski, Micah.
Trust me.
My boy.
I love the original Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. Way more than you do.
But I love Rango, Micah.
And I love Rango. But yeah, The Ring.
The Ring.
I was pretty sure, like Robbie mentioned this too, that Gore Verbinski's direction would go over well to a horror movie. And I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it's a very atmospheric movie. I was rather disappointed. I don't know. I forget who I was talking. I think I said this to Haley, not to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I was rather disappointed coming from Gore Verbinski, even though it's not inherently him who did it on the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. But I was just sad that, like, compared to the Pirates movies, the actual production felt kind of like a step down. Like, it wasn't as, like, physically immersive as I wanted it to be.
I suppose so. I mean, this probably had a smaller budget
I'm sure.
than Pirates
like
of the Caribbean.
I said, the Pirates of the Caribbean's like a Disney huge budget blockbuster series with a ton of really talented people working on it. It's not just Gore Verbinski. But like I was sad coming with a Gore Verbinski movie and his style to not have as much like really cool looking thing.
Yeah. No, I get that. I really dug this though. It's one of my favorite horror movies that I've seen in recent memory.
Yes, quite right.
Which is really odd because it's like a PG-13 horror movie,
right? And those are hardly ever good.
Yeah, those are hardly ever passable even.
I will say my biggest complaint about this movie is that I just don't like the story.
Really?
I really don't like the story.
I think it's kind of cool.
Like I like all of the horror direction. I like some of the mystery stuff. The cast is fine. Some of the stuff is creepy. The atmosphere's cool. The locations are fun. But like the story and especially the way it ends, I'm just like, wow. Like watching this for the first time when it switched to the like after she finds the well and everything. Like everything after that, like I was just like, wow, really? They did this with the story, huh? Yay.
Wow. I thought the end was kind of fun. It's a little underwhelming to be sure, but
like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, like it just wasn't the ending. I wouldn't rewatch this movie really unless it
Really?
was just no.
Wow.
It was just the kind of story and everything that I wouldn't really care to rewatch. And like I guess I would turn it on like in one of those talk over to the movie situations.
See, this is like one of those horror movies that's also like a mystery movie while you're watching it, and I appreciate that.
No, I like its mystery elements. I just think what it culminates to kind of sucks.
Wow.
And that's my biggest complaint. Like, I don't have any other complaints.
Man, that such a good opening though. The opening for this movie.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I gave it a 8 out of 10.
I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
7 out of 10. All right. After that,
I watched Hayden Christensen being hot. Wait.
I mean, anytime he's on screen, he's hot. So it's kind of unavoidable.
We watched Shattered Glass.
Shattered Glass,
which me and my mom had randomly found like a while ago on like I think Prime Video, and we watched the trailer for it, and we were like, "Wow, that looks interesting," and I added it to my watch list. And then we never watched it.
Yeah.
And we just now watched it, and I was kind of disappointed. I will say,
just kind of,
because the story, it's a cool story.
Yeah.
Some of the concepts in the filmmaking are cool concepts. Hayden Christensen is Hayden Christensen. He's a cool dude. I like him. He could have done an amazing job in this, but I feel like the movie itself and the script are just kind of very mediocre.
I mean, I think he does give a good performance,
but like the actual way his character is written is not as good as I would like it to be.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's another one of those movies where its premise is cooler than the actual movie is.
Yeah, like it's based on a true story about a guy who like actually existed and worked for a magazine. And,
technically a biopic.
And faked over half of his stories that he did, and just got them around fact checking and everything. And the whole movie thing is one of his stories finally gets caught in the digital era.
It's interesting. It's an interesting movie. I would recommend it to people, like, to check it out, because it might be more your thing than it is mine. But
and what makes the actual story interesting is like he's supposed to be like the nice guy in the reporting industry.
No, the way they frame it is cool. Just a lot of the time, the actual execution of the framing device that they use is kind of odd.
Yeah,
and doesn't really mesh that well for like a cohesive through line.
Yeah, and I don't think they ever knew what they wanted to do with like the person character.
Yeah, it's
like,
weird.
You never knew if they actually wanted to make him sympathetic or be like some mastermind evil man.
I know, right? Like it never like really feels like it takes a side on whether or not it feels his actions were malicious or not, kind of thing.
Yeah, like there's certain moments in the way like the story starts to be framed up that you think that they mostly just think he's a sympathetic dude.
Yeah.
But then like there are also moments of like the filmmaking and like moments like when they're sitting there with his lawyer where he just keeps like the completely straight face the entire time.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
Like they do, like they like the music builds and they're like zooming in on him like he's like the Silence of the Lambs kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's a weird movie. I liked it though.
Yeah, no, like it's fun, but like it's just so
weird.
The filmmaking itself and the way it's written is so like halfway there.
Yeah.
I think I said after we were done with the movie, I was like, man, I bet this would have been good if Fincher would have directed.
You know, 2 movies in a row, Micah, where they reminded me that Fincher was like a guy, because like The Ring, the color grading, all of the earthy tones in its palette made me think of Fincher, and then Shattered Glass
made me think Social Network. He should have
directed this, exactly.
It probably could have been like a masterpiece, but instead it ended up being a movie I gave 3 stars.
Did you watch anything else, Micah, like yesterday?
I watched *Malignant* again.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll talk about what I watched while you were out.
Well, here I'll just say *Malignant*.
I mean, you can get it out of the way. Yeah,
it's still pretty good. I watched it with my girlfriend, and she likes horror movies, though she was sad because, again, like we talked about in our episode, it's not a spooky movie.
Yeah,
it's kind of like an action gore fest movie.
Yeah, I was about to say *Malignant's* an odd quote horror movie.
Very much James Wan, and very much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I give it 4 stars.
For sure. So yesterday I watched like 5 things while Michael was gone. First thing I watched was Paddington Goes to School, which is the second short film in a series of Paddington stop motion films.
In which Paddington heads to school.
In which Paddington is forced to dismantle the education system in Britain.
As he should. He should.
And he does it all while eating a marmalade sandwich. So I definitely recommend it. I'm surprised how in line like this adaptation of Paddington is with like the Paul King adaptation.
Well, no, the Paul King adaptation of Paddington is very in line with the books.
Yeah,
and
I know.
All the earlier stuff.
It's just interesting, like how consistently Paddington has been adapted to the screen. But yeah, Paddington Goes to School, not as good as Paddington Goes to the Movies, which I had seen before, but it was still good. I definitely recommend it. And then after that, I watched Paddington's Birthday Bonanza.
In which Paddington has a birthday
bonanza. Micah, he dances a little jig in this one. Like the entire climax of the story in Birthday Bonanza is him at like a dance. So, yeah, pretty good. I rated it the same as the other one, a 3.5 out of 5. I think I liked School a bit better, but that's just because it has the talent show thing at the end.
Did he have
really
any
funny.
Marmalade?
He has lots of marmalade.
Good.
It's really weird, Micah, in these Paddington shorts, like canonically there's like marmalade chunks as a thing, like not just like a spread. There's like chunks of marmalade that he's like dropping and throwing everywhere.
Like a marmalade kind of gelatin kind of marmalade?
Yeah, but like people keep finding like it's like they're like, what is this? It's like some weird creature, and then he's like, no, that's just a marmalade chunk. I'm like, what? Paddington, what are you talking about?
What?
But yeah, no, I definitely recommend you guys go watch all 3 of the Paddington series, the 80s stop motion films. They're really cute and really fun.
Paddington.
We should watch those this afternoon.
Also watch the movie.
Yeah, watch both the Paul King movies. They're quite good.
Specifically the second one.
Yeah, the second one's great.
I don't even like the first one that much.
After that, I watched The Blob, the 58 version, for the first time.
The Blob.
And it's good. It's a fine movie, I guess. It lacks a lot of tension, which is odd for a movie about like an unstoppable force. But like, yeah, it was weird. Direction was good, the cast was good, the production design looked great, the special effects were surprisingly good. Like, I was like, wow, this actually looks like pretty great. I don't know.
According to our grandmother, it was supposed to look terrible.
I was about to say, our grandma always goes on about how bad the special effects were in this movie, and it actually looks pretty seamless. So, I don't know. I would recommend it for, like, movie night with friends kind of thing, but I don't know. It doesn't have much value outside of that in my eyes. Like, it's good for its special effects and cast. It launched Steve McQueen as an actor, so that's something, I guess. But yeah, it's a weird movie, kind of mediocre-ish.
Kind of mediocre-ish.
Very unengaging for a lot of its runtime, but I gave it a 2.5.
2.5.
And then I watched the latest Spark short from Pixar called Nona. And it's pretty much on par with the rest of the Spark shorts. I don't know. At least they're like consistently just fine or okay or pretty good. This one's one of like the better ones, but yeah, I don't know. No, I don't have too much to say about it. It was fine. I gave it a 3 out of 5, and then I watched for the first time San Andreas, directed by Brad Payton.
Dwayne The Rock
Which,
Johnson.
if I'm not mistaken, this is the guy that directed Revenge of Kitty Galore.
What? Revenge of Kitty Galore? And Journey 2?
And Journey 2, yes.
This man is a legend.
This man, living legend, sadly made not great movie. It's... Okay, so for those who don't know, San Andreas is a Dwayne The Rock Johnson led disaster movie. And that's my review.
Okay, but
that's literally all it is.
But my goal in life, is to somehow get some studio. I forget which studio does the Journey movies.
Okay.
And
I don't know
have them agree like 10 years after this one comes out to do a third one with because I'm trying to remember his name. Yeah, Josh Hutcherson. I'm gonna do it when he's older, and we are going to finish the trilogy. I want to direct the third one.
You want the Journey trilogy, Micah?
I want to direct the third one. I want to make it super cheesy like the other two. Like the I don't know why I love the Journey movies. They're so bad, and I love them. I want a third one so bad.
It's so weird, Micah. The Journey movies are so odd.
I want a third one so bad.
They're not my jam in any way.
The Vernians, Robbie.
I swear.
I hate what they did though. They kind of killed their own idea though at the end of Journey 2, because the next Vern book they present is a trip to the moon, and that would be like impossible to do on the budgets that they get for these movies.
Exactly.
They should have done a different Vern book.
But yeah, San Andreas, not related to the GTA game, despite what I thought.
It kind of could be.
They do steal a truck halfway through.
Imagine a GTA movie. GTA San Andreas movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
That would be pretty good. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of a lot of the cast in this, or the direction, and the CGI was bad. But at least it attempted to have an emotional core to it, which is more than some of the other disaster movies I've seen. So it was passably bad kind of thing.
Passably bad.
Mostly boring.
Mostly boring.
I gave it a 2 out of 5. And then that night...
Then we watched some cinema disaster movie.
We actually watched a really great disaster movie.
Directed by the Batman.
The Batman? No, Micah. He is not the Batman.
He is the Batman. I really want to watch his Planet of the Apes movie.
He is the director of the Batman, Micah.
But yeah, I really want to watch his Planet of the Apes movies. I hear they're very good.
Matt Reeves.
But we watched Cloverfield.
Yes, we watched Cloverfield.
Which is a found footage movie. With TJ Miller.
TJ Miller, baby.
But it's actually good.
Yeah, this is my 3rd time watching it.
This was my 5th time watching it.
Oh my gosh.
It's only two more times.
I guess, but still.
And I'm a pretty big fan of Cloverfield. I think it does a really great job in terms of... In fact, I'd probably cite it as like one of my favorite disaster movies of all time, because it does disaster movie in a way that I think actually works. And it does found footage in a way, which found footage is something I've always been a fan of. I'm a really big fan of narrative like devices that kind of make themselves in universe. So I've always liked found footage, but there are very few things that actually do found footage well.
Yeah.
And this is a really well justified and well use of found footage to do a really cool view at a disaster movie, to where it's not just like, ooh, spectacle, look at the city getting destroyed.
That city sure is getting destroyed.
Instead, it's like, oh my gosh, what the heck? How is this happening? What's gonna happen? Where's it puts you into the mindset of the people.
Indeed.
And I think it's really well done. Even TJ Miller gives a good performance.
Yeah, the performances are honestly some of the weirdest aspects of it, because some of them are good, other ones are not as good.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great movie regardless.
No, I gave it four stars.
I also gave it 4
and
stars.
I teeter every time I watch it on giving it 4 or 4.5. I switch it up.
You gotta switch it up every once in a while.
But it's very, very fun.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that's what we watched. We watched that pretty late last night.
Yeah, pretty early this morning.
Is there anything else, just while we're here, that you want to bring up that we've been watching, like any TV shows or something that isn't inherently on Letterboxd? Any games you've been playing?
Sorry, you mentioned video games. I got bored.
Wow.
No. I recently almost technically 100%ed Arkham Asylum. The Return to Arkham.
Good game.
Edition or whatever. Yeah, good stuff. One of my favorite games of all time. Good, really great. That was fun. What else have I been doing lately?
I recently I found a TV-14 cut of Paranoia Agent, and I've been watching that.
Nice.
As far as I can tell, it just cuts the sexual stuff out of it, which is kind of what I'm here for.
Nice.
So
You're here for the sexual stuff?
No, I'm here for everything else. Poor wording.
I was about to say, Micah, no. I played a lot of Mario 3 last night.
You did,
before we
yes.
watched Cloverfield. It's a great game, by the way.
I've been playing like a ton and a half of Animal Crossing. We got Animal Crossing New Horizons recently, and I went over to my girlfriend's house yesterday. Like I was with her like all day. We watched one movie and played a ton of Animal Crossing.
Yo, shout out to Micah's girlfriend for getting me a little stuffed Paddington for my birthday that one time.
Right.
Sitting over on my
desk. She's the best, by the way. I don't even think she listens to our podcast.
Micah, Paddington in the little short animated things has different colored bucket hats that he wears.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
You should watch it. You should watch all of them. They're really good.
I was trying to think of anything else because Paranoia Agent has been like really. I'm 3 episodes in, but it's been really fantastic.
Oh, for more video game news, I got Genshin Impact against Micah's judgment.
Listen, I give games a chance. I got Genshin Impact. I like anime, and I got Genshin Impact, and the movie was the death of everything. I mean, the game was the death of everything. Like, it's just the worst.
But yeah, I got it because I'm a huge fan of Horizon Zero Dawn. It's like my favorite game of all time.
And he was simping for Aloy.
No, that was not. Micah, if your favorite game has a collaboration with another game, you are going to get the other game.
I'm not playing Fortnite, and I'm not playing Genshin Impact.
Okay, but I got Genshin Impact so I could unlock Aloy in Genshin Impact and have her in my party and whatnot. Because I was like, I love Horizon Zero Dawn. I like Aloy.
He just wanted to animate Aloy.
Aloy. She has the same exact voice as she does in the regular game.
Which is awesome.
And it's so funny to me because everyone has like the high anime voice.
Right? No, like,
and she has like a normal voice. Just like the most normal voice of all time.
So like Paimon's over here like
and Aloy's like, there's a dinosaur. I'm like, what's happening right now? But yeah, I saw the gameplay like teaser trailer or whatever. I'm like, that looks dope. So I downloaded Genshin Impact, and you have to get to Adventure Rank 5 to unlock Aloy. And I got to 2.
Doesn't take that long.
I got to Adventure Level 2, and I'm like, I cannot play a single second longer of this game.
Did you at least use the ability to the best ability in the game is that you can climb up anything and then glide off anything?
I did not glide at all.
So if you go into the town, I don't know if you unlocked the glider yet.
I didn't even get to the town, Micah. Paimon is literally that grating. Like, I got an actual headache from trying to play this
She's
game.
Not even the worst character. The librarian is worse. Because, like, everything she says, she's like,
I swear, man. I thought it would be worth it to have another piece of Horizon media while I'm waiting. I told
you it wouldn't be.
While I'm waiting for Forbidden West, but it was not worth it. But yeah, no. Basically, it boils down to don't get Genshin Impact. It's a very cluttered game and really annoying.
Very annoying. That's my biggest problem with it is it's annoying.
No,
it's a little clunky.
I could take annoying. I could not stand the UI and the way you collected stuff.
I honestly
and
think
the way the combat was.
I honestly think the game works better as an impressive app game. Because I played it mobile.
Yeah.
And I think it honestly works better as a that's a really in-depth app game you have there.
It's because app games can get away with messier UIs because they have more limited controls. But
yeah. I give that onto a PlayStation controller.
Ugh, yikes, man. It's bad.
Yeah, I was trying to think of anything else in particular that I've been up to.
I watched a lot of Shafrillis Productions videos the other day.
Good stuff.
That was good.
I'm working on a My Dinner with Andre video because of school and work and theater and life. I'm probably not going to stick to my once a month schedule. I'm just going to put these videos out when I get them. I have a completed first rough draft of the script, but I'm not going to make that. Like, I'm going to rewrite this script several times.
Yeah.
It needs it. So yeah, that's coming up eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, and I hit 400 subscribers.
400K, baby.
Not 400K. I wish 400K. No, I hit 400 subscribers. I think I'm up to like 413 now.
To all of our 5 listeners out there, go subscribe to Micah.
414.
On M. Grawey Films. The link is in the description.
And to quote my last comment, it's a hidden gem of a channel.
Is it?
I don't think so.
I mean, I guess. I don't know if I'd consider your channel a gym.
People seem to like my Over the Garden Wall video for some reason.
Yeah, your Over the Garden Wall has like a cult following of 14-year-olds.
It's true. No, I think I'm the only channel that I have ever seen the analytics of that has a higher audience of female, like higher, and not just that there's more females who watch it. But
I was about to say, I imagine like makeup
people,
channels are
people
like that.
People who actually like register into YouTube their gender. I have a higher female audience than male audience.
I don't know if this is concerning or not, Mike.
Haley said it was concerning.
I think it's kind of concerning.
Go check out my channel, though. My newer videos are much better. People keep like commenting like, this is kind of clunky, and I'm like, yes, it is.
This is kind of a clunky video and kind of bad.
And I'm like,
actually.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. I kept telling Micah, I'm like, back when he was putting out the videos, I'm like, Micah, this is a clunky video.
I understood that they were clunky, but I needed, I was getting better, and I like to think I'm still getting better.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the goal, was to just make stuff. I'd get better with time.
No, Micah, you must make the perfect video every time. Can't you see?
Can't you see?
No.
That you should make your videos through me.
Wow. Go watch his La La Land video because I edited it.
Wow.
I thought it was pretty good.
Go watch my Luca video. It's new.
Go watch his video game video because it's actually one of his better ones.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It's not getting many views, and I didn't think it would, but I thought it was actually like, I was like, I'm proud of this one.
Wow.
But yeah.
We've rambled for like 7 minutes now.
For like 10. But yeah, okay. Go watch Little Women. Very good.
Little Women is fantastic. And, go watch Mad Max Fury Road too.
Go die historic on the Fury Road.
Die. No, don't. We do not want you to die.
You live, you die, you live again.
Wow. Well, I hope you guys have a beautiful day.
A beautiful day, a beautiful week, a beautiful life. And we'll see you next week.
Indeed. Adios. Goodbye. See you soon.
See you real soon.
See you next week.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Aloha.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, no. Wait, no, that's just hello. Wait a minute.